Sometimes one small mistake can have dire consequences. And on rare occasions, someone might extend a helping hand.
So what was that? Okay, so I just did a global game jam. Game jam being where a bunch of nerds get together, 48 hours, try to create a video game. Global being something that happens every year. They do it worldwide. They give you a prompt and you join a team. Generally, you go to locations with a bunch of other nerds and hang out for 48 hours and barely get any sleep and make a video game. This year was a little different because there's so many people doing it online, and because of Lunar New Year, they kind of stretched it out a little bit more than normal. But that was a little animatic sort of thing that I made to advertise the game that we made, because I couldn't sleep one night and couldn't think of anything actually productive to do. So I hope you liked that, and let's talk more about what we did. So where did we start? Every game jam gives you a theme to start with, and this game jam we were given the theme of duality, as in like life, death, light, dark, good, evil, things that go together but are different. And with that, we kind of came up with 3 different ideas. One being a world or situation where you are having to switch between 2 like opposite worlds, like light world and dark world. Another, and there would be monsters. Another one being you have 2 players co-oping, but both see 2 very different things. And then the last one being a kind of platformer with like 2 different things going on. And it was going to be like a puzzle platformer where like one thing you do on one part of the map kind of affects the other part of the map. We weren't exactly sure how we were going to do the co-op game, even though it sounded amazing. So we kind of focused our attentions toward the switching worlds game and the platformer. So we had the concept of duality. We had a rough idea of kind of being able to switch between 2 different realities or worlds. So I got kind of cracking on the concept of a plot, and the plot starts with your cat dying. At least that was the general idea, and you're going to go into a creepy cat world full of creepy cat monsters to get 9 lives so you can bring them back to life. And that was kind of the base idea. What you're looking at now is some concept art of the light world and the dark world and kind of the monsters. I built on that a little bit more to give us an idea of what the monsters would look like, and the original drawing had them being kind of animal and cat-like. I really liked that, so I leaned heavily into the cat, and that's how we wound up with this guy. Here you see kind of the magical paw prints that I thought might lead you to the extra lives. The little cat statue thing that is going to be glowy and pretty, that is the extra life. And we have our monster. Playing with this idea a little bit more, I came up with the idea of several other cat monsters, which I named after the shape of their head and fruit. So let me introduce you to Banana Cat, Lemon Cat, Orange Slice, and Melon. At this point, people had started doing some concepting programming-wise to figure out how they're going to get different things to work, how we're going to get the light and dark to work. We had some people working on like possible visual effects, and I made some trees. And it's silly, but I'm super proud of those trees because they took a while, but they're cute, right? These are cute trees. I ended up coloring them, and they were kind of like pink and green cute and pastel, and I passed those off to the programmer types, and they got going. As they worked on that, I made some rocks, and some grass, and some flowers, and mushrooms, and stumps. And yeah, I made a bunch of stuff. I, at this point, have never worked in 3D with any actual, like, certainty or reality. So I had to figure out, even before the jam started, how the heck to apply textures to things, and I figured it out. Not well. Turns out my computer, and none of the computers in our house, can handle painting in Blender very well. But I managed. And yeah, trees. The app I use to sculpt everything is Forger. It is an app on the iPad. I have really enjoyed it. There's another one called Nomad I'm thinking about looking into. And if y'all want to know kind of more about this process, I've done videos on it before, but I'd be happy to do a more recent one now that I kind of know what I'm doing a little bit more. But yeah, plants, and they're cool, and they're really pretty. After I figured out the setting pieces, I worked on character stuff. I made the little spirity thing. I did make this object that we call the cat's eye, and basically the concept was someone shows up magically with this like crystal and you look through it, and when you look through it you can see the dark and shadowy world. So I sculpted that, and then I started working on the monsters, and I made us a banana, and he's terrifying. And then we talked about having like a really intense death scene where they like shove their face in yours and like it's terrifying. So I made a more creepy version of Banana's face, and it's creepy banana, and I accidentally merged a tooth. So he's got a weird thing floating in the model, but I didn't want to change it because it's a jam and you don't have a lot of time. I sculpted us a lemon and a creepy lemon face, and yeah, not everything ended up getting implemented in the game because we ran out of time and such, but I want to stop here and talk about these programmer guys. Oh my god, the stuff they're able to put together with movements and all this other stuff. And yes, we had issues. Not all the animations that I put together worked. We were not animating on our own. We were using Mixamo, which came with its own struggles, because we did not have an animator on our team, and I don't know how to rig and animate. So we had to use Mixamo, and it mostly worked until we tried to put in the real models. So I had made this kind of like blank version of Banana so that we can make sure things animated right, and that's the one that made it into the game. I think it'd be a lot better and creepy if the real one made it in, but you know, game jams, you run out of time. But I cannot believe these programmer folks. They were amazing, especially the level design. I'm gonna put up some pictures just in general of the world. The fact that they were able to arrange things in such cute and amazing ways and really brought the whole world kind of to life just from the few things I made. I mean, I made 3 rocks, 3 trees, mushroom, flower, grass, and stump, and they were able to do all this stuff with that small amount of assets, and I think it's crazy. The animations they were able to make, and the functionality of the like dark to light world, the figuring out how to make the colors change when you switch between them was a whole nother thing. These guys were amazing. And yeah, that's the part I did. Like I said, my friend Selhan made the wonderful music, and of which you've been hearing while I've been talking. But yeah, let's take a look at gameplay, and if you want to know any more about this process, let me know. We are currently talking about the possibility of expanding the game, making a much more polished, like, single level, and then putting it up on Steam and seeing if there's any other interest. But we'll have to see what happens. Anyway, let's look at some gameplay. So yeah, this is the pretty. Look at all the trees. I made those trees. I made those stumps. I made that grass. Oh, so happy. So I recorded this in 2 parts. One where you're getting a good look at the pretty shiny world, and another one where you're looking at the creepy world. But let's just appreciate the ambiance. It's just nice. Look at all these cool things. Look how pretty. Listen to that music. And let's look at the creepy stuff. Let's look at where things sparkle. Let's look at the statues. And let's go check out the bad guys. They're terrifying. Anyway, thank you for watching my video. Thank you for coming and checking this out. And thank you to my patrons for putting up with all of my ridiculousness. I've barely been posting anything in the last month. But again, I've been trying to get ready for this. And then I tried to get the energy to get together to tell you about all of this. So please enjoy. And if you want to play the game, I've left a link in the description where you can download it and play what we've managed so far. Brief shout out to some merch I made. You can find it on my Redbubble. Why did I make merch? I don't know, because I can, and I hope you enjoy playing Cat's Eye. Until next time, bye.